Realized.
Welcome to our AMA, our BrightID regular weekly AMA. Nice to have you here. We are going to just talk about anything we feel like today. And I think Philip was in the middle of saying something when I started recording. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just saying you're just about your birds in the background. No,
oh, you can hear them now? My crows in my yard. Yeah. So you were mentioning in Unitap the idea of like, instead of just giving away small amounts of something, having a raffle for something that's worth more. And I think that's an awesome idea. Like, I think, why not? It's related enough to giving out little bits of something that why not also have raffle functionality in there?
Ray, it's really nice. So like, let's say, hey, in the future, like, the expected value of a tap, like you could claim 10 cents worth of X die, okay, or 10 cents worth of Phantom, whoever. Oh, that's not interesting to a lot of people. They don't need 10 cents. But like 1/10,000th of valuable NFT, like that might inspire people that they don't need 10 cents, but they would like that NFT. And sure, it's a small chance of getting it, but it's a material chance, and also it's like it's a known chance. People used to get was it the Price Waterhouse sweepstakes come in the mail to their house, and they had a tiny chance of winning the grand prizes, and lots of people would jump through the hoops of doing that, not for the expected value of like $1, which is probably like the expected value of them doing the action, because they had like no idea how big the, but like, here it is, dude, the first, whoever the first 10,000 taps get raffle ticket, effectively get a raffle ticket. And at the end, someone's really gonna get that NFT that tapped the raffle button.
Yeah, we may find that those are more popular than the expected, than the equivalent value to like something that you're going to get.
Yeah,
you may find that people are willing to take an expected value of, like, let's say 10 cents over an actual value of $1, just because, like, if you get $1, it's not worth your trouble of selling it on the market. It's not worth those clicks and like finding where to swap it or whatever. But if you are the winner and you get something worth $10,000, that's like a big deal. So I love it. I think that's an awesome idea.
And it also provides a more compelling reason for people to like come back on a weekly basis, because there's going to be a lot of people that even if they could claim $1, they get bored of that. Like, it's not interesting. There are some group of people that, oh my God, that's life-changing that they can come get $1 every week. Great, I'm so happy to serve those people. There's a bunch of other people that's fun for like 3 times and then it's boring. But if each time you're like, ooh, which raffle do I want to enter? And it's like, you go to you get raffle tickets, and there's little like at a fair, or like at your school or something like that, and it's like, oh, here's 20 objects, and I'm going to drop my raffle tickets in the basket and like have a chance, and you get to pick which raffles do you want to be part of. What's inspiring to you? Do you want that squiggle NFT? Like, do you want the noun? Do you want the tiny chance of winning the Bored Ape? Like, it's one in a million, but hey, if you got it, it's really valuable. And I feel like going to it, we might have an easier time getting those prizes than cash. I know that when you are fundraising, it is easier to go out and ask for stuff than it is to ask for cash. And we could make it for people that would like acknowledgement for having provided it. They could certainly have that acknowledgement. If they want to do it anonymous, they could have that. They're welcome to keep, like, they could choose to name it, to brand it in some way if they want.
Yeah, I think Unitap should do that, despite the next question that I'm wondering, which is, does that hurt the business model of Unitap? Because right now Unitap is taking 1% of everything that's distributed, and I don't know how you take 1% of it. I don't think you can. But we shouldn't let that get in the way, but because it's such
One
a
way
cool.
you could do it, you could take 1% of the raffle tickets,
Oh, okay.
right? And if Unitap wins, great, then they get it.
Okay, interesting. So that means Unitap has a 1% chance of winning every single raffle. But
Or we could,
isn't that kind of like a letdown if it's like, oh great, Unitap won again, if they're winning like every 100th raffle or something. I don't know.
I'm just, I guess I'm saying that there's solutions, or it could be that like Unitap accrues those extra tickets, but they're somehow for sale, such that like
Oh,
Unitap
interesting. Right.
couldn't win,
Okay,
but it
that makes
gets to sell its share.
okay, that makes sense. Like if there was a secondary market, that actually makes a lot of sense. So let's say we require that the tokens that it's okay with the person who puts up their thing to raffle, that the raffle tickets are available in a secondary market, that they're okay with us creating like a Uniswap pool for them or something. And that way, Unitap gets 1% of the tickets, but it doesn't enter. Instead, it sells the tickets. So if you want a double chance, you can pay extra and get a double chance, and that way Unitap can make money. I kind of like that idea. Cool. Yeah, I thought there'd be a way to solve the business model problem that's not too complex. Sounds like there will be. Yes,
But
Victor.
the goal to this raffle is like a carnival game. I mean that you have a chance to win, but if you don't win, you lose. What your chance? That's all. Or every
Yeah.
time is going to be win something, or you get something, consolation prizes or that kind of stuff.
No consolation prize, but you could have. I mean, I guess you could have a raffle that had multiple tiers, but I think that's less compelling. I like the model of, especially because let's say you have 5 taps per week, right? You need to decide. We've always thought that that's like an important mechanism, that like it's compelling to have to choose.
What I mean is that because it's like a giveaway, right? But the goal is different, because if you think about it, one goal is to, I mean, in lottery tickets and that kind of stuff, is to make money with that. I mean, you sell lottery tickets, one person is going to win, but you are going to win a lot of more money because you are getting more. So it's like that. But in a giveaway, you are going to give someone something. Sorry, you are going to give something for the people, and just for giveaway, just to give. That's all. So it's no like another goal that giving. But when you want to, I don't know, like a business, lottery business or something like that, so it's different because it's different approaches. I mean, the people should know what they're doing. So yeah, I really like that, like what you said, that's like selling tickets to the raffle, but that is like the lottery. It's just like a business.
Sort of, except we're giving them away. So the like the economics, the way I see the economics of Unitap is it's kind of like micro UBI, but the hope is that these things start to maybe increase in value. So they'll kind of like start to outdo each other, and it'll be like, okay, if you want to be in the top 10 on Unitap, maybe in the old days you had to give away something worth 10 cents, but now if you want to be on the top 10 of Unitap, you've got to give away something worth $10, and it could even escalate from there. And the point is, like, these things, people are mostly going to take the thing that is the most valuable in like resale value, and most of these things are going to be resellable. In fact, I think they all should be resellable. But what's going to be really interesting is when they start to be, I think they will tend towards being equivalent in value. Like almost everything on Unitap, at least at the top, will start to like converge on a certain value. And the way that it happens is, let's say that there was something that was like really valuable that was in the number one slot. More and more people would choose that one, and that brings down the value per person. It's because it's not just the value of the thing, it's the value of the thing divided by the number of people that are claiming it. So if you have, like if for the raffle, if only 100, if it's giving away something that's worth $100,000 and only 100 people buy that raffle ticket, you just got something worth $1,000. So people, when it's that high, more people are going to flock to it until it brings the price low, and then starts matching the price of other things. And then at that point, what's I think nice about Unitap is now it becomes personal preference. When you have like 100 things that are all worth the same, let's say that they're DAO tokens that let you participate in a DAO. The hope is that you're gonna pick the 1 or 2 or 5 that you actually care about that have more personal value for you.
Yeah.
That it becomes less about just like picking the thing that's gonna make you the most money if you sell it, and picking the thing that you're actually gonna keep. Oh, welcome, Sergey. Good to see you. Good to have you. So, because I hope that it solves the problem that I put in the plutocracy post that I posted a few months back, the problem where it's like, if you wanted to give out your tokens, if you wanted to be, let's say that a DAO, let's say there's 2 DAOs, DAO A and DAO B, that want to attract more members. They want to give out some of their DAO tokens. They just want to airdrop to unique human beings, and just cast a wide net and see who comes and participates in the DAO. If they just drop them on literally every person, almost everybody's just going to sell those tokens to the people that want them. But if you really limit the choice, let's say that there's 1,000 DAOs and you get to pick 5, or 2 or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're all worth the same, then you're probably going to pick the one that you're not going to sell. You're going to pick the one that's maybe more valuable to you, even though the resale value of all of them might be $10. You'll pick the one that for you is worth more because you're actually going to use it. That's kind of the hope, I think, of where Unitap ends up.
Yep. Also, you talked about lots of people claiming something and bringing down, like on the raffle, the expected value. You could also maybe have the flip side for things that nobody's picking, where you could give, like, if there's still tons left after a period, that like it automatically increases the amount given. So next period, it's like giving away twice as much to compel people. Oh, like I'm more apt to tap that because what I get just went up. Because that way, because like we're gonna have a crazy long tail of stuff. So how do you keep that balance? And if it's like it doesn't, a certain amount doesn't get emptied out, the amount that a tap gets you grows.
Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of self-balancing mechanism. Because you could manually do that, but it's also nice just to push a button and say like automatically
Yeah.
more.
Right. If at least 1,000 people didn't claim it, double it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I mean, basically it'll come down to you're trying to attract attention to whatever your project is or whatever you're giving away. And a lot of it will come down to knowing your market, basically knowing let's say if you overestimate your user base, let's say you think that there's 10,000 people that are interested in participating in BrightDAO and there's really only 1,000. And so you target giving away to 10,000 people, you're going to end up spending too much. You're going to give away too many shares of your DAO. So you really have to, you'll have the best results if you know your market, and you can estimate how large it is. You'll do a good job of hitting that sweet spot.
It's going to be a long time before anyone can accurately estimate anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right.
Yeah.
Unitap is such a different thing than ever has
Right.
existed before that I really can't tell you how it's going to behave.
Right. But you can start out small because maybe it's better to err on the side of not giving enough. And then you realize, wow, okay, those shares went like hotcakes.
Right.
And look, people are actually using them to vote in the DAO. Okay, let's give way more this time. Like obviously we haven't tapped out our market yet.
Right.
Alan, when you talk about the same value of these DAO tokens is hypothetically, right? Because how you can manage this value are the same in all of the tokens that there is to claim in Unitap. It's like impossible, right? Or
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's kind of self-balancing because if everybody only gets to pick 5, then let's say there's a project that really is only trying to reach 100 people. If they put in $1,000 worth of value, and some other project that is trying to reach like 10 times that many people puts in 10 times the value, it will start out at the beginning that other one is at the top because it's worth a higher value when there's fewer people than the other one. But eventually more people, 10 times as many people will flock to that more popular one and keep bringing it down until it's at the same level as the less popular one. And then they'll be in about the same ranking. And then if you're just looking to cash in on it and sell it, you can just you can pick either one. They'll both be at the same level.
okay, I get it. I mean, what you claim is the same monetary value.
Same value. I
that
think
the
things will
other.
tend towards
It
the
doesn't
same
matter.
value.
Yeah.
At least at the top. I think at the bottom, there'll be a bunch of things that are trying to like, people are still trying to figure out how much they're worth. But at the top, I think you'll have things that are easy to sell and have a pretty established value. And yeah, that's kind of what I
And
feel.
there are also things that it's not about the value, right? So we've got a bunch of testnet tokens on there. We've also just got like gas for various networks. And if you want a clean wallet, great. All you did, like you just need that gas. It's not about got like a test token doesn't necessarily have any economic value at all. It just has utility value, but that utility value is like if what you need is a little test in a empty address, like that could easily be worth $5 to you. That could be worth more than $5 to you just to have that. And it's not the dollars, but yeah. So just
It could be because we have seen crazy airdrops, really crazy. The Optimist was really big, and there is a bunch of thousands of dollars per people. So the people have this mindset of getting the opportunity for something. So if you put them to choose what they have to bet, what's going to get a bigger, or it's going to be a best project in the future, they will tend to pick the things that are right now like in a good balance. I mean, like the traditional tokens, so that kind of stuff. So obviously, as until we don't see what is there to get and we don't make like it happen, all is a speculation, right? Everything is in a speculation.
It just should balance itself out so that it achieves our goal of, hey, there's 100 things or 1,000 things that are all, as far as their resale value, all priced about the same. So I get to choose, but because they're all worth the same, I'm going to choose it based on some personal factor.
Exactly.
Like maybe I think squiggles are cooler than apes or something like that. So I'm going to pick a
No. Don't go that far. Don't go that far, Alan. Just pick CoinGecko. You have
Sure.
$1 of tokens.
$1
And you
worth,
have
$1 worth of 1,000 different coins.
yeah.
If
pick
you knew,
5.
yeah, that's an easy way
It
to
will be
think of it.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, and
Yeah.
other things.
If you knew that today you could get $10 worth of any 5 coins, you pick which 5 ones you want from the entire list of tokens that are out there, which 5 would you choose? And it'll be different for everybody. Because
assume it this way. Imagine that there's a different site you go to. You don't go to Unitap, you go to maximizemymoney.com. Right?
Exactly.
And it interacts with Unitap on your behalf, and it's going to grab the 5 most valuable things and sell them and convert it to the currency that you want, right? So assume that someone else, we're not going to build that, but assume that somebody else builds that front end that goes in with an API and Unitep and just like does that. So great. We just helped create a UBI funded by lots of other people donating whatever the hell it is that they want to donate. And this like site just scoops it all together. Some people that's what they need are going to go there. Other people don't want that little bit of money every day. They would rather go and participate in the raffles, or they just want to occasionally go and pick up gas tokens for clean wallets when they need. Like those are three different people that interact completely differently with Unitap, and all three of them are fine.
Yeah, and so it's easy to imagine that you have these automated like arbitrage programs going on that are just like giving away the people who just want the maximum value. That kind of balances everything out. And then there'll be people like me who I will go in. I'm not looking to get $100 instead of $99. I'm looking to like find the ones that I care about the most. And so people like us will maybe even in a small way move the market a little bit for some of these. So if for whatever reason a lot of people want let's say Gitcoin DAO tokens, then now, well, it's kind of interesting because the more people
just go.
That was
Well,
abrupt.
yeah, I want to ask you, Philip, about thing now that Alan just fell off, is that I think it should be really worth it to talk about what do you going to win if your project token is in the Unitap. I mean, what is this economics of giving tokens? So what?
I would not necessarily expect that there's a material economic benefit to giving on Unitap. It is a gift. Now it might. So if you are a layer one, you should do this because your most important metric is to have users and active wallets on your network, and these are real people that are actually going to use your network, and that like you just got to increase some of your KPIs in a legit way. So like that's a win. That's a win for them. They didn't get like they gained in that scenario. Right. If you could actually get someone to come on to your chain and do something on a new wallet, that was, if you're Polygon, like the value to that is significant compared to the 3 cents of Matic token you gave away.
Yeah, something like rabbit hole campaigns, more than like that you are incentivizing, you are trying to no gain a monetary value, just another thing that you are looking for your project, right? Because sometimes the people doesn't understand why you are getting something from
the bigger. So another thing is just a DAO that wants to get more people. You can imagine, hey, there's the Discord is token gated. It's barely token gated. You just need to have some, right? You can even imagine like it's literally just a non-zero. You have to have one token. And it's not even worth much to get in there, but that's a useful hurdle, just because even beyond proof of human, it's just like, okay, at least they chose to do this.
Yeah, that's so important to me for collusion. The fact that you have to pick, that you have 1,000 choices of things that are about the same value, and you picked these 5. That shows something. That's really important.
The other thing is, I hope that, we're talking about like projects giving out their tokens, but the reason projects have tokens is because it's nice to have a money printer, and that's effectively what it is when you create a token. You could also imagine the Pepsi company, right? They don't have a token to give out. They're never going to have a token to give out. They just decide that they're going to give 1% to humanity, and they take 1% of their profits and they put them in a tool that distributes that to humanity. Obviously, yeah. we're far away from that, but like they're giving USDC at that point, right? They're not trying to pump their project. They're simply using this as an effective distribution mechanism, which we've been saying for years is a thing that should exist. And
Yeah,
who had,
yep.
yeah, and it could just like, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that, yeah, that'll be interesting because it's like you can pick the 1% from like, let's say that there's 5 different companies doing that. That might be your choice, is to choose the 5 like dollar denominated tokens that come from like big companies. That may be your most cost effective choice. If more people start choosing that, the per person value comes down, and so it all balances out. In the future, it may be that some of them want to, it'll be interesting to look at how this works, because let's say that there's 10,000 companies now instead of 5 doing that. Now, you're automatically giving away more to each person who collects it. So it's kind of like self-balancing, but it rises the level of the UBI for everybody. It raises it for everybody because now, let's say there's 1 million people collecting. Okay, so we start out with 10 projects, then those 1 million people, whatever the project is giving away is now divided by 100,000. But if instead of 10 projects, there's 10,000 projects that is each giving away the same, 1% of their project, or 1% of their profit, the same amount. Now each person is getting much more. They're getting 1,000 times more. So instead of getting $1 a week, now they're getting $1,000 per week. So dare to dream, if there's like 10,000, the top 10,000 companies in the world start giving away 1% of their profit.
Yeah, but you're
This
talking
becomes like
about
meaningful
giving
money.
away, but do you not think about the platform or for publicity? Because I mean, you will
Yeah, I think
want,
it is publicity. Yep.
yeah, you want to be there. I mean, if there is Pepsi, like you tell before, I will be just next to Pepsi. I want to be there.
Right.
My project wants to be there. So I will pay anything just to be next to Pepsi. So
Right.
it's that kind of mentality is not a giveaway. You are buying a slot there.
Right. Yeah, you're doing good for humanity. And yeah, it looks weird. If like the top 10,000 companies in the world are each giving away 1%, except your company. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, why is Johnson Inc. not giving 1%? Like, what's wrong with them?
Well, maybe that's why I talked before. I didn't elaborate well what I was trying to say about these raffles, right? Because it's not gambling, right?
No, because there's no cost. So
That's not gambling.
let's eliminate for a minute the 1% and maybe we sell them raffle. Let's just
that's exactly.
Let's put that aside, because that's not necessarily what we're doing. Put that aside. It's not gambling because you're not putting anything at risk.
Exactly that. But when you said that maybe you want to sell this portion, is like you are going to get the ludopathy people break just to the right.
I do think that the raffle tickets and everything else that's given away on Unitap needs to be resellable on a secondary market. At least everything that I can imagine so far should be resellable.
I don't know that the raffle tickets need to be sellable.
Don't have to, but for our business model, they should be. That way we can sell. So when Unitap sells some on Uniswap, if they sell their 1% share of the raffle tickets, because I don't think they should enter and win the NFT. That's just weird. So when they sell their 1% in the secondary market, now what that does give people an opportunity to gamble. So you could get your 1 free ticket and buy 10 more or 1 more or whatever.
Yeah, but there is a pull together scheme too that you are gambling, but
pull together being sued. No, I mean it's a bullshit trumped up lawsuit, right? The dude that filed the lawsuit lost like $18 or something. He didn't even lose it. Like he used it in the tiniest way so that he could like say, I used this and with gas fees I like lost money.
So it was contrived. He was
totally contrived.
okay, I want to sue Pool Together. I'm gonna like do something that will cause it to look like I made a loss, and then now I'm gonna sue them. Wow, what a
yeah,
jerk.
yeah. This is not somebody that like actually like, no, this is yeah, not done in good faith.
Wow. That's horrible. I
And
hate that.
unfortunately, right, so it's a former Elizabeth Warren staffer, and unfortunately Elizabeth Warren has been strongly critical of all things crypto and DeFi, which is too bad because honestly, like the ethos of the real stuff, I think is very much in line with what she wishes the banking system would be. Like,
Yeah.
so, but that is not how she and her staff have seen it so far. Yeah, so he apparently left her staff, and then like not long after, like started doing this. He's like trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I think you're right. I think it's a lack of understanding that if people would just dive deeper and become a part of the DeFi community, they would understand the good of it. I mean, I also understand the craziness and the weirdness. And yeah, I've seen people be like, okay, I just put my life savings into DeFi and it's gone. Now what do I do? And I'm like, oops. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. Don't do that again next
Don't
time.
do it again.
It's like,
Well,
yeah.
it's like, okay, I mean, as they always say in Bankless, like, this is the frontier, we're headed west. Like, it's nobody should invest all of everything in the bleeding edge unless like that's just the kind of person that you are. Clearly, we need to clean up the scams. I just listened to a great Bankless episode where they had on a guy who is into crypto but also skeptical of it, and they just do a good job of sort of looking at like, hey, here's the good parts. Here's all the crap that like we need to clean up so that we don't get such a bad reputation. And then here's the stuff that like the regulator is actually complaining about. Like that's not the problem. Like that's what they're complaining about. Here's the crap in the middle that actually needs to be cleaned up, and then here's the good stuff over here. So clearly there's crap in the middle that needs to get.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe Unitap will help to because it's so close to UBI and it can allow things like a corporation giving away 1% of their profits. Maybe it will give a better image to crypto. I hope so. Because that's the main so the reason I got into crypto was okay, when Bitcoin first came out, or not when first, I didn't know about when it first came out, but when I first heard about it because it was in the news, because it had some like run up like it always does, I was like, well, that's really interesting technology. Like that's pretty cool, but the economics is all wrong. That's what I thought to myself. Like this economics is horrible. Like it's going to create massive wealth disparity. This is like, I hope it doesn't succeed. Like this is economically terrible. That was my impression of it. So I didn't want to be involved. But then I took a second look at some point, and I don't remember why. Oh, I remember why. It's because I was I was thinking about universal basic income, specifically done with community currency. So I was looking at alternative currencies, like like your city can have a currency, or like how they did with the town of Virgil in Austria, and stuff like that, and other towns have done that experiment, and how cool that can be, and like the cool stuff you could do with like a computerized version of community currency, and if it had programming tools on top of it. So I noticed that so I found the original Ripple protocol, which was kind of like based around IOUs. And then from there, I realized that people were, there was like an Israeli company called Kalu or something like that was doing colored coins on top of Bitcoin. So they were using the Bitcoin protocol to create other tokens and use them as community tokens or whatever kind of token you wanted. And I thought, okay, this is cool. And I took another look at the Bitcoin protocol, and I was like, yep, like you can do programmable money. You can do tokens other than Bitcoin itself. This is pretty awesome. And then right about the same time, Ethereum came out. I'm like, okay, this is an even easier way to do it than Bitcoin. So like that's what got me into it, was like alternative currencies, thinking about like distributing income to more people, those types of things. How could you make that programmable? So I mean, that's, I don't know, for some of us that's the vision of cryptocurrency. So I think if more people can see it that way, I'm sad that it's gotten this bad rap, but I wish people like Elizabeth Warren could see it that way. Andrew Yang sees it that way. So it's not like, you know, every liberal politician sees it in a bad light. So anyway.
But I mean, when you say that bad light, is because, I mean, the people are mean, but there are some people that it just like the Ponzinomics of things. They like to bring people to their weird projects, and they do that in fiat. They don't need crypto to that Ponzi's.
Right, because they understand the pump and dump game. They know how to
Yeah.
hype something up and make money off of the pump.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
the
there are
crypto
people-
came, and there's another tool for them for do these kind of things, and that is what is the bulk of people on the economics. I mean, no the global economics, but local economics. I mean, I
would say most people don't know how to do that. I certainly don't.
do,
I
but
think it's
when
like
they,
an elite small percentage of people that know how to make money off of pump and dump. I've
maybe
certainly
not where you live, but here in Latin America is fucking weird how the people had ideas to make Ponzi schemes, really weird Ponzi schemes about everything. You have Ponzi's of liquor, you have Ponzi's of housewives, you have Ponzi's of religion, you have Ponzi's of the planes, or the typical pyramid. They call the pyramid economics here is weird. And when the crypto came, the only thing that you hear about is Bitcoin Bolt. So the people can buy bolts or something like that, and they win money in 6 months or something like that. I have tons of people on my family just call me to ask me, "Hey, this is legit. I am going to win money with this." I mean, no, it's Ponzi's. Please don't do that. And all the Ponzi's right now are crypto Ponzi's, all in my local, in my town, and no one knows anything about crypto. For them, crypto is like another spreadsheets, Excel. They don't know anything about crypto, but the only thing they understand is Ponzi money. And the mentality of these people is that if I came first in this Ponzi, I will get something. For
right.
That
right.
is the mentality. Is not so. It's not that the crypto is have a bad light, but it's just the people are like that. So there is nothing to do about it.
Yeah, I think one of the great things about Unitap, and you mentioned like to them, all crypto is are numbers in a spreadsheet. I think that Unitap can be a great tool for turning crypto holders into crypto users.
Yeah.
Because I agree, there's a big difference between the people who are like, oh yeah, I've held Bitcoin before. Like I had it in my Coinbase account, or now you can even have it like in your Fidelity account or something. Yeah, I have some Bitcoin. I'm a crypto enthusiast. And then there's people who are like, they have a wallet, they use decentralized apps, they use their crypto for things, for like voting, or for like programmable money, doing things with money that normally require a bank as a middleman. You cut out the middleman and you use it as programmable money. You can use it to pay people, you can use it to enter into contracts without needing a bank. And so there's those people who have like ascended to the next level where they're crypto users and they know how to manage their own finances and use smart contracts and use dApps and stuff like that. So I think Unitap can help because it can help with the hurdle of getting the initial bit of gas that you need to get started, because it just gives it away. And also, I hope it can become an educational platform. You'll have projects coming on wanting to attract users. At the same time, they can also be educating their users. They can direct users to educational content like, okay, you just got some of this token. Here's how you use it. And because it's not just something that you hold in your bank account. This is something that you go out and use. Here's how you vote in our DAO. Here's how you do this, etc. So
you're right about it. The best way to understand cryptos and this is using it. I got people I know, I mean family people that really old people that doesn't know anything. They got problems sending money from offshore for another country, and they, hey, I got this problem. What? Tell me cryptos. That's all. Like, what is that? And they have to use it, and they understand what it is, and they're not crypto users because they see what is benefits is get to them, and now they are just crypto users. Doesn't matter how much time. What I think is that even my mom now use WhatsApp and no understand a lot about what WhatsApp is because she loves to use WhatsApp. That's all. She likes to use it. But when WhatsApp was new, that was witchcraft to her. What is this? Why I don't hold I send messages and videos? And now she is like the best user of WhatsApp. So it's like that. It's exactly the same with the cryptos.
Yeah, I also think that the complicated stuff we do with crypto today is not how people are going to do it. So there will never be a billion people that use MetaMask, because by the time a billion people are using this stuff, it won't be MetaMask. Like that shit, it's just not that many people are going to go through the pains of it. Like, you know, we use it all the time, so we're used to it. But like, there's not a billion people will never learn to use MetaMask because there's something going to be simpler that does most of what they want to do. I remember talking to a woman, and she didn't have a lot of technical experience with crypto, but like loved the ideas that she heard, and she just used Nexo. And you know, and I explained that while I didn't think that what she was doing was wrong, and she was all happy that like she showed me her accounts and that they were earning interest, and like it's like great, fine, like it's using it behind the scenes. Sure, it's not pure, it's not your keys, your kick, you know, your crypto. It's not how I want to do it, but it was a fine way to do it. And way more people are likely to do something like that. Hopefully it can have, you know, robust foundational stuff using these tools that we care about behind the scenes. But from the consumer perspective, it's just a slick app on their phone.
Yep. Yeah, I think we still need to crack the user-friendly yet self-managed wallet. It's I mean, ever since Bitcoin came out, that's been a challenge that is still there.
I don't think that most people actually want to control their own keys that way. I think most people are going to choose to have their wealth custodied in some way.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And hopefully it'll be in better ways than are done today. Like bankers' hours won't get like the way, but like that most people that are not like deep in this, that they don't want the possibility that they could lose their seed phrase. They don't want the possibility that someone could come to their house, put a gun to their head, and like all of their money is moved forever because they, you know, right, the great wrench attack. You know, you're not going to lose.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to lose your crypto because someone did some super sophisticated compromise of your security system. No, they put a wrench to your head and they say, send it to me or I'll bash you.
And it's happening before that's happened already.
Right, but like if my money's at the bank and they come to me with a wrench, like I can give them all the cash in my house, but like I can't give them the money in my bank no matter how much they threaten me. I'm not capable of doing it. But with a bunch of my crypto, I am capable of doing it. You know, if they threaten my child, like, and a lot of it, like they don't want the possibility that they could do it. It's better to be like, look, you can have all the, like, plenty of people are like get mugged and they're like, dude, have my watch, have the contents of my wallet, whatever. But like, if all your stuff's on your Trezor, you don't want to be like, okay,
I mean, they will find ways. They will find ways anyway. We have this how is called millionaire welcome, something like that. They take you to the bank, go to the
yeah. But that is done. That is so much harder to do.
Right.
yeah.
There's plenty of people that have $100,000 worth of crypto on a ledger device in their house, right? And it would be worth attacking them to steal their crypto. It's not worth doing that to like figure out how to drag them to a bank under duress and like that. That math doesn't work, and we are way off context here. There's actually another thing I want to talk about. Well, this needs to end soon, but the other topic I wanted to bring up this week is the conversation going on in the Gitcoin forum about BrightID. So, Kevin learned some about Aura from Adam, wrote up about how maybe they could use some of the learnings or the tech or partner or who knows. But we love Gitcoin. We think that this is powerful stuff. We'd love to get them involved. So let's lean into that. Adam, if you want to explain any more than I just did.
Yeah, so they were wondering, I mean, we talked about this at our Bright Token meeting, but they were wondering, because Aura is a way to bring together experts. You have this interesting kind of like self-regulating graph of experts who are willing to learn more about the BrightID graph. So we've been saying that it's about 1% of BrightID users that form this expert graph. They're the Aura players. They have this extra tool called Aura that allows them to play the game. And then they give energy to each other. So it's this kind of decentralized way of experts deciding who the other experts are. And then those experts get to rate the greater BrightID graph, like the other 99%. They get to rate their honesty with the idea that because they're expert researchers, because they're expert Sybil hunters, because they're willing to dedicate the time to going deeper than the average BrightID user, they'll come up with a much better answer. And so that's the Aura game. It's really cool. We hope to use it in apps soon. And what Gitcoin was wondering is, can we use that for data sets other than the greater BrightID graph? Can a set of self-selecting experts be used to give answers about, let's say, the Gitcoin grant rounds contributions, whether they're fraudulent or not, whether there are Sybil attacks going on in there or other sorts of attacks, in sort of the progression of decentralizing Gitcoin, how they want to move from this set team of people that, well, I got hired and it's my job to work on the fraud detection team. Instead of that, this self-selecting, like, you think you're an expert, okay, prove it, like prove it to the other experts. In the Aura game, the currency is energy that experts send around to each other. So could that work for Gitcoin? And I know Philip has said that his vision for the Oracle, which is the part of Aura that gives the answers that apps can consume, should theoretically be able to answer any question that can be answered by experts. It should be able to attract the best experts and get that answer. So anyways, that's kind of the discussion we're having. Anything to add to that, Philip?
That's mostly, importantly, part of in what Kevin wrote is why he was attracted to it is how decentralized that could potentially be. That while we're choosing a group at the beginning to be it, there can be many centers of trust, and you can pick the ones that are doing a good job. And if at any point in the future that changes, you can listen to different groups, or you can listen to an overlap of certain groups, and like you can always prune off the parts that you don't want to use. And it's right, it's not one group that like we are the answer, sort of competing groups offering answers, and the application asking the question can pick whoever it is that they want to listen to of that group, of those groups.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just rereading some of or actually reading for the first time some of the comments that came in today. So this is interesting.
So I got a question about that. Alan, you said that they want to know if they can use BrightID Aura for their stuff, right? The answer is yes, if you do it like for that. But I think the question is, could be they, I'm sorry if I don't understand really well the question, but like a protocol or a standard, so anyone can integrate their own information to the BrightID Aura, so anyone can analyze that information. That is what the question was, because I mean, you said the question is just for this Gitcoin, specifically this thing. The obvious answer is yes, if you build up for that. But the question is for anything that we want to throw you to Aura, Aura can handle it automatically, or what, or the integration about Aura and any kind of database, or what is, so I don't understand really what the question.
Sorry, what's the specific part that you don't understand for the integration?
If they want the Aura, BrightID Aura to be used only for the Gitcoin specific thing, or they want to integrate anything that they want to throw to Aura, any kind of information. So it's like a standard, is it, or a protocol that it can be used to analyze this information on Aura, BrightID Aura.
Yeah. So I think that they're trying to progressively decentralize Gitcoin. And one of the things that they want to decentralize is the fraud detection. And so they're seeing if Aura can be used as a way to decentralize who gets to contribute to fraud detection in Gitcoin, rather than it just being a set team, like you got hired by the DAO to do this job type of role, which is what it is now. Did that answer your question, or did you?
No, but because today is Gitcoin grant, but what is tomorrow? So they had to start building the information to be analyzed in a way that could be integrated with Aura anytime, without making new code lines about or reprogramming Aura to read this information.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's quite reprogrammable. I think so what Aura, the main thing Aura does, well, it does a couple things. It creates this, it helps to create this group of experts, to attract this group of experts to work together. So those experts can keep evolving, but they'll be the, like, you don't need to change the code of how the experts, that code of sending energy around that part of the protocol, and defining the experts, that can be the same, even if the questions, that the specific questions they're answering. So let's say that grants round 15 has different questions to answer than grants round 16. The same set of experts can still be used, as long as you don't try to change the field of research too drastically, so that this set of experts isn't the right set of experts anymore. Then you would probably need to get a new set of experts. And they ask this question, and that's where we use energy flavors. Like an energy flavor, you could have a different flavor for each type of different set of questions that's being answered. So if you need to like get a new set of experts, you just launch a new flavor, energy.
Yeah,
flavor.
but when you said experts or energy or flavor, is the interface, right? The Aura interface is just
Yeah.
that. You use the
Yep.
Aura interface
Yep.
so they can data mine or analyze this information.
Well,
But
and remember, they're not, Aura's not doing the and analyzing necessarily. It's in that way. It's just picking which experts are going to be listened to in which weights, right? So like you have the Gitcoin fraud detection energy flavor, and it even could be per round if needed, but let's say you just have it in general. That picks who the experts are, and then maybe they don't, what they're going to be inputting as their opinions on a data set are very different than like what the Aura app is doing now, talking about BrightID connections. Because right now, the only thing that an Aura expert can rate is the honesty of a user. But you can imagine a different interface where they're rating anything, where they're rating any other topic, and they don't necessarily have, like, it could be how tall are the crops going to grow in these places. How many pounds of potatoes will be harvested. Doesn't matter. It's just how you passed around that expert validation. Does that sound right to you, Adam?
yeah, but this ain't like an integration with the BrightID application right now. So if you want to be integrate with Aura interface, so you had to start process with the team.
And only the experts need to be integrated with Aura.
Oh,
not all of the users, because like let's say we're talking about fraud detection of grants. Forget people, because like this is not necessarily for social graph analysis. This is the actual grants. It's how are we going to decide which of these grants are appropriate and which of them aren't. This has nothing to do with people. This has nothing to do with BrightID. We used Aura to pick the experts that are going to be listened to, and then they can add their opinions, and then maybe there's a reward mechanism that flows to the people that participated and whom we listened to per the formulas.
So the answer is totally possible, right? That's the answer.
I mean, it is not built that way as it's right now. Right now, it's really only set up to answer questions about the BrightID social graph, but it could theoretically be. I mean, that's not where we were building, but if somebody was inspired to help build that, we would be glad to work with them.
I think it's really cool that anyone can use the tools that you are making, right? If any projects see, hey, you are making this tool, I want to use this tool for my project. I mean, yeah, I think it's really cool. And Gitcoin is really close to BrightID, right?
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, thanks. I'm sure we'll have more discussion on that, and maybe we can even invite Gitcoin back over to an AMA to talk more about it. But appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your contributions, and we'll see you at a future AMA.
You guys.
Cheers all.
Bye-bye.